music for Lagos.
102.3 Max FM.
Let's talk about Home for a minute. So I think that Home is a reflective album EP.
Yeah.
Was that very intentional for you? Like the first 2-3 songs were very, very, like, it's something that you listen to and you reflect, you think about someone and something.
Mm-hmm. So I'm very into concept projects. Before We Fall Asleep was my first concept project. That was an album. This was the next one. I wanted for this album to have an identity. I wanted first of all for the title Home to reflect in every single song on the project. So when you think of every single song, and I encourage people to listen to the project from top to bottom and not shuffle, because one song in a way leads into the next one.
Yeah.
So it starts with Home, which is the title of the album, and then it goes on to How Are You My Friend, and then to Nobody Knows. All these songs are touching on.
Nobody Knows was so personal.
I know.
I can relate with that feeling so well.
And then, all the songs are talking about, a lot of the things that matter, aside of all the crazy things going on, talking about relationships, friendships, mental health. I wanted for this project to have that identity, to be more personal, for people to be able to connect to it beyond, say, just usual love songs and all.
Yeah,
amazing for real. And you spoke about how you, my friend, came to be, and it was a very real moment, where you and Jazzy, after he lost his mom, may her soul continue to rest in the Lord, because for me, like, I think the perfect hashtag was what was chosen for Piccolo when they said a celebration of life. But then, like, you and Jazzy sat down, and then you were talking about a whole lot of things, and then naturally that flow just came and you guys wrote that. Talking about the other song Home, which is sort of like that song that carries the same title as the EP. That song also speaks from a place of you miss home.
Yes, it does.
And for a superstar like you, who don't really have that time, to really say, I want to go home every time. Every time I see my dad and my mom. You got to be on the road. Go for shows, record music, do this, mix and master, score for movies. Like you do so much. It's crazy. How do you then, find your mental health in the midst of all that?
It's crazy. I think a lot of people just assume that celebrities or people in spotlight, we have the perfect lives, we're doing amazing, we have all the money, everything's going well, they want to be us so bad. But then you have no idea what people are going through. You have no idea how many artists have to check in themselves into mental health places, right? It's crazy. It's a lot of pressure sometimes, and I think for me, my coping mechanism had always been family. A lot of times when I was overwhelmed in Lagos, I would take any opportunities to go back home. I still do. Anytime I have like a gig in Benin or Delta, I would always go back home and spend a couple of days. And then I know I don't get to do that as often as I used to. It's crazy because when I was growing up, all I wanted to do was leave the house and go to Lagos and be that guy I want to be and take over the world. And then I moved to Lagos, and all I want to do is just go back home. I think we all need. I don't think anybody's meant to be in isolation. And when I talk about family, for some people it may not even be blood. It may be friends. Those friends have become family. But nobody's meant to be in isolation. We need people. We need family. We need friends. And that's the message of this EP generally.
Man, all right, for real.
Hit music for Lagos.
102.3 Max FM.